Question: has 2022 left you feeling kind of blue? Well, let Dr. Scott prescribe something for you, because I know you've been craving some great new prog rock, and straight out of Australia, Brisbane to be exact, Queensland, comes Ben Craven. He's the man with the answer to all your problems. I'm telling you, his new album, Monsters from the Id, is just amazing. This is his fourth album. First one came out in 2005. He was calling himself Tunisia at that point, and the album was Two False Idols. It's a good album. It's got the Golden Band on it, which I really like that song. And then he enlisted Roger Dean to do his second album cover in 2011. Great and Terrible Potions. Really great album cover. Really great album. 2016, he released his Last Chance to Hear. It's a good album, but it kind of was a bit of a regression. He wasn't even using Roger Dean for the album cover, so that leads us to 2022 and Monsters from the Id. I actually had someone recommend this album, Brad McElvoy, for the most obscure, his favorite obscure record. Well, let's do something. Let's make this not an obscure record. This is the third perfect score I'm giving this year. I'm going to tell you guys right up front that this is 5 headphones for sure. There is no doubt about it. I've been listening to this thing nonstop for about a week, and it's just incredible. Ben Craven plays everything. I guess he had a band and he decided he liked doing everything himself, and why not? It's just incredible. This album consists of 2 long tracks. They're both about like 20 minutes long. The first one is called Die Before You Wake, and the second one is called Omnis Flows Eternum, and they're both equally amazing. The first one, Die Before You Wake, starts out with this cool metallic rhythm in 7/8 time, and then some ascending notes climb up a D minor harmonic scale, and then you've got a little bit of Magma, Orff, Carmina Burana type of choral stuff going on, and this orchestration, these virtual orchestral instruments that Ben Craven uses start swelling, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the bottom drops off, and then you get some sleigh bells, some Christmassy kind of stuff going on. Kind of makes me think of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's really great. And then the vocal section comes in. It keeps that 7/8 time going throughout this track. That is what is so cool, is all throughout it is 7/8. Every measure of this 20-minute behemoth is in 7/8 time. But it's cool because the verses are in D minor, and then you get a tonal shift for the chorus, which was really welcome, and I needed it. It goes into F minor. It's a really bizarre change, but I really dig it. And then you get into an instrumental break after that, which is in B flat. This guy's a cinematic. This is the adjective everybody uses about his music. It's cinematic. It's soundtrack worthy. Hans Zimmer is a reference point a lot of people keep bringing up. But probably the thing he does absolutely best is play that guitar, and he gives us all kinds of David Gilmour feels in the middle of this song. But he plays everything. So later on, you hear a little bit of Chris Squire bass going on, and then you hear some staccato piano a la Keith Emerson. It's just amazing. You get this guitar and orchestration then kind of following what that staccato piano thing was doing, and it makes me think of Neil Morris, makes me think of Transatlantic. Then the vocals come back in, and the words, his lyrics are great. He spends a lot of time on the lyrics. That's one of my main complaints about modern prog. Sometimes the lyrics just aren't any good. This first song goes, Monsters from the Id remind of our hearts we entrust. Seething expectations rise above the virtue and just. Equal, eternal destin, vigil never resting in a warming glow. Enchantments forever after, ritualistic laughter stirs the sleeping specter from long ago. That's good stuff, man. That's good writing. I mean, I tripped all over it, but it's pretty good stuff. And then after that, it gets into this cool Floydian soundscape with these really great chord progressions. It goes from B flat minor to B major to an F suspended, and then it goes back to that B flat minor, and then they shift between E flat and G flat, and then the next time around they do it, they go to a D flat. It's just crazy. These chord progressions are fantastic. This guy, he finally settled in on the right format for his music. His first three albums were a lot of shorter pieces, but this guy's brain is just working on a whole different level. It demanded epics. His music demanded that 20-minute runtime. After that part goes, that rhythmic pattern from the beginning starts up again, which is the benefit of having the entire song in 7/8 is you can plop things down, cut and paste. You don't have to worry too much about it because the whole thing's in 7. And then that choir, that magma feel starts coming back up again. And then it ends with the great Picardy third. You're in D minor pretty much the whole way. And then they throw a D major chord to end the thing. And it's like, wow. Is the second track going to be anywhere near that good? Well, I will tell you that Omnis Flows Eternum is even better because I think the vocal sections are more interesting. The melody just is more beautiful. And we'll talk about why I think that is in a second. The second track starts with a little Steve Howe classical guitar thing in D minor. It's obviously drop D. It's in 4/4 time to start. And then the main theme slips in 4/4, and then they shift over to 6/8. It's a really cool transition how they do that. And then you get the main theme, kind of a spaghetti western thing with the tremolo guitar and the horns, kind of making me think of pattern-seeking animals. And then dude starts playing that slide guitar, and it's making me think of like Close to the Edge of Relayer, Yes stuff. And then he goes off and starts these weird runs, these scales, ascending and descending scales with what sounds like an electric sitar. It's just awesome. And then that whole section closes off with a little Eastern riff and 5/4 time. And then it builds up, kind of reminding me of Inhaled 'Twas an I from Procol Harum. And then the vocals finally kick in at the 8-minute mark, but they go back to 4/4 time. And this is really smart because if you want power and energy, if you want an anthemic kind of memorable thing, you want a 4/4 beat. It just gets into your brain a little bit more, especially with the drop D tuning. It's really powerful. Some of these lyrics are amazing on this second track. Spare us from our prejudice. Teach us graceful reverence. Bathed are we in blessed streams. Lo, behold, my muse redeemed. Sing high praise to thee. Subjects toil for free. Damn who disagree. Omnis flows eternum. I guess that means the river flows eternally, something like that. After the first vocal part, you get this really icy cold instrumental passage. It's just amazing. And then it transitions back into 4/4. You get some more choral chants. And then the vocal part comes back. And then it ends with a little reprise. And it's just amazing. You get descending brass. And then it ends with a little Chris Squire bass blurb. It's just amazing. I just can't get enough of this album. The way each track is composed and structured is really smart. You have 2 vocal sections in each track, and they're timed in such a way that you have like equilibrium parts from beginning to the end to the middle section. It just breaks up these 20-minute tracks so intelligently and so interestingly. Ben's voice is serviceable. It's good. I like it. He uses a whole lot of reverb and delay on his voice. So sometimes it's hard to totally make out what he's saying. Luckily, all the lyrics are on Bandcamp. I appreciate that. Right now, if you live in the States or in Canada, Ben's probably not going to ship you a CD. He's really embarrassed about the shipping costs from Australia, so he's really pushing the CD version. He does have his second album available on vinyl, that great Roger Dean artwork. I implore you guys, please check this album out. Monsters from the Id. Yeah, what are we giving it? Oh, you know what we're giving it. Yeah, I did not bury the lead. I gave it to you right up front. This is a 5-headphone album if ever there was one. Ben Craven. Yeah, I've been craving this album and I didn't even know it. This is exactly what I needed to get me through these difficult times in 2022. Is one of the best prog albums that you're going to hear this year. And I actually submit to you that it might be one of the best prog albums you will ever hear. It's that good, and it is going to be a strong candidate for album of the year at the end of the year. You other prog bands out there planning to drop something in 2022, the bar has been set, and I challenge all of you to try to top what Ben Craven's done with Monsters from the Id. It's amazing. Anyway, tomorrow, hopefully we will roll out part 5 of your favorite obscure albums. This will be from numbers 21 to 45, I think. But it's been a lot of fun, and I can't believe that this Ben Craven album, I ranked it at 133. What an idiot I am. Yeah, I want a do-over. This thing would definitely be in episode 6. This would be a top 10 album probably, but let's do everything we can to make sure that Ben Craven, Monsters from the Id, no longer deserves to be in an obscure list. It needs to be on a proper list of the greatest prog albums ever recorded. I'm dead serious. Check it out, guys. Anyway, I am Scott from the Fire Note, and you were in the Prog Corner. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.